Okay, so we're going to talk about positioning land banking, kind of what some of that dialogue looks like. Again, this is just an example of things that are working and have worked, and quite frankly, have moved millions and millions of dollars of land banking. So, just want to kind of give you some positioning pieces on how you want to move that. First of all, it's all in the setup. You want to position land banking and talk about the importance of diversifying with hard assets, okay? And when we're talking about diversification, quite frankly, it's talking about diversifying outside of the paper markets. See, what we want to create with true diversification is you want different parts of your portfolio to be able to stand alone by themselves. What does that mean? That means that they're not all going to go up at the same time and down at the same time. And a lot of times, even though somebody is holding stocks and they're holding bonds, that's still happening when the paper markets are going up and down. And so we're talking about true diversification. We're talking about things that can stand alone by themselves. If they're both up, they're up for completely different reasons. And that's what you get, the added value of a hard asset like land banking in terms of diversification. So that's kind of how you start that positioning. So here's some language that you may consider. I have a concept I think is worth considering as we're looking at your plan. You want to use real soft approaches. This business is a business of semantics, okay? So this is an approach that says, hey, I'm on your side. I think this is something worth considering. And a lot of times they'll say, well, what is it, Terrence? Okay, so I have a concept I think is worth considering as we're looking at your plan. Okay, you want to play the video. Now there's the 6-minute video off the website. There's also the 2.5-minute video. You can play whichever one you like. The key is that video is done. You do not want to say, hey, what do you think? Okay, you don't want to say that. When the video ends, wasn't that amazing? Can you see now why I was so excited to share that with you? Okay, something like that. Or can you see why I was excited to share that with you, or why I wanted you to consider looking at that as a part of your plan? Okay, you want to tell the potential prospect how to think. Again, because naturally as people, we tilt towards the negative side far more than we do the positive, okay? So, and there's an idea of what to say as that video ends. Can you see this potentially being a part of your financial plan? Now, it doesn't matter how many questions they have. They can barrel all the questions they want at you. You're just looking for, well, yeah, but I've got some questions. I want to know how this is, okay? So whatever they say, hey, say, I can appreciate that you have questions. So the next step really to get your questions answered is to schedule a webinar with the Vice President of Land Banking. There you're going to have a chance to understand all the specifics about land banking, how it's done, what a specific parcel looks like, and before you ever can make a decision one way or another, I'd really encourage you to get all of the information. So that's really the next step, so you can see what is land banking, where is it that we do it, and why do we do it in specific areas. Okay, that's it. That's as simple as the follow-up is. Okay, then you want to schedule that webinar. Now, as you're with the client, you want to schedule, I didn't put this on here, I should have, you want to schedule, get 2 days and 2 different times that work for the client, and then call Brian Spiridonoff and see if he can make one of those work. If it's during a time when you know you have a pretty good chance of reaching him, just call right there with the client and schedule it, okay? Now, after the client call is over with, after the webinar is over with, you want to go through and submit the client call form, and this is what that looks like, okay? So you want to get a copy of the statement of their account. You'll always want to work with the client. You want to be a part of that process. That way you can make sure if there are any hangups that can happen. If they're over 55 years old, you need a senior disclaimer. You'll go through and fill out their names, email addresses. All this is pretty self-explanatory. The property that was offered, okay, what the source of funds are going to be, where is it coming from? So the dollar amount, okay, how much do they have in total funds? So as an example, they may have $100,000, okay? The purchase price then is not going to be $100,000. You'll estimate closing costs. Maybe that's $1,200. The purchase price then, and then remaining for fees and taxes. Leave 5 years of fees and taxes. You'll need another $7,000, right, as an example. So now the purchase price, you've got $8,200 that you're holding out, is going to be $71,800. That's what would actually go in this example, or excuse me, $81,200 or $800. Okay, will go to purchasing the land, and my math is still wrong. $91,000. There we go. I'll get it. So $91,000, $91,800 goes to the purchase price of the land. Okay. Fill out self-directed custodian paperwork. So again, if they're placing the money with Provident, you'll want to get that paperwork filled out, put in their information here. You'll want to find out if the request can be transferred. Now, this is important. You'll want to call the custodian with the client. Make sure that they can wire money out of the account. Okay. If they can't, you want to see if they'll take a fax copy. If they will, to transfer the money, and you always want to send that as a fax copy. You'll need a copy of their photo ID. Okay, you'll fill all this out, all your information. How you want to get paid is down here at the bottom. So do you want to, when the transaction closes, if you want your money within 3 days, obviously there's no cost. If you want it next day, it's $10 to do a wire. If you want it same day, it's $25 to do a same day wire. So this is the client call form that you'll need to get to Brian Spiridona so he can get everything moving on his end. So let us know if you have any questions. We'll be glad to walk you through. It just takes 1 or 2 transactions and you'll have it in no time.